Our top story this morning, the big and powerful blizzard affecting over 70 million Americans. At least 9 storm-related deaths are reported. Snow accompanied by sleet, freezing rain, and gale-force winds stretches from the southeast to the northeast. The storm, combined with high tides, is battering coastal areas. 1 in 7 Americans could get at least half a foot of snow.
In the Carolinas, snowplows are working to keep the roads clear, but conditions there are hazardous, with many cars just skidding right off the road. In Philadelphia, not many vehicles are out, making it easier for the snowplows. Officials there are urging residents to stay home today. Philadelphia's transit system has shut down.
Here in New York, the mayor is also telling people to stay home. At least a foot of snow is expected today. There are 10 states along the East Coast under emergency declarations this morning, as well as New York City and Washington. That's where Kris Van Cleave is this morning. Kris, good morning.
Good morning. It has been snowing for about 17 hours, and we have about 17 hours more of the winds and the snow before this storm leaves the nation's capital. Back behind me here, Pennsylvania Avenue leading up to the Capitol. It is snow covered. We have seen National Guard Humvees out in these conditions. Driving is treacherous. Because of the blowing wind and the snow drifts, it's hard to get an exact sense of how much snow has fallen. But as of right now, we've got about 13 inches or so on the ground here in D.C. Defiant drivers hit the streets here despite a plea from the mayor to stay home.
We want people to hunker down, shelter in place, and stay off the roads.
With wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour and snow falling at a rate of 2 to 3 inches an hour, conditions are getting worse. Plow trucks struggled to keep up with the historic snowfall. Nearly 3 feet of snow could be on the ground here by the time it's all over.
This is a 36-hour storm with expected dangerous winds.
Commuters are finding themselves on lockdown as well. The D.C. Metro system suspended service late last night and won't be up and running again until Monday.
To close it down inside is just kind of ridiculous, because there are people that have to get to work in hospitals and other places that do not shut down.
We came to have dinner with our neighbors, with our friends, and so we thought we would walk because that was the better option.
While kids went sledding down Capitol Hill Friday evening, the first dog got to play in the snow at the White House. But the scene wasn't quite as pretty Friday afternoon when Daniel Kernage made rounds in a city snowplow.
How important is it for people to get off the roads tonight?
Very. I just don't want people to be in the street, me personally, because once we get behind the snow, it's going to be a hard time fighting to get back on top.
There's great concern after about an inch of snow Wednesday gridlocked the city for hours. Chris Geldart is running the district's storm response.
Is this going to be a deadly storm?
Yes, sir. Our first concern really are the residents. One of the major monikers of success for this, for me personally, is to make sure we don't lose anybody. And that's first and foremost.
Forecasters have been warning about this monster storm for days, but some waited until the snow started falling to stock up on food and supplies, finding long lines and empty shelves.
What were you guys able to come away with?
We only got some snacks like tater chips and popcorn and stuff to eat around the night. That's all we got, so everything's gone.
Now, D.C. has asked surrounding states to bring in extra snow removal equipment as they expect the dig out to last for several days. The lingering concern here, particularly as the snow keeps coming down, high winds, because that can bring down power lines. It is well below freezing here, so there are concerns about people being without power potentially for days. So far, power outages have been limited, Anthony, but we have a little more to go before this storm is done.
Kris Van Cleave in Washington. I went to school in D.C. They do not deal with snow very well there usually. And that's a lot of snow. Yeah.